Hi students, welcome to the next session. I hope you understood yesterday's class that was on some problems and graphs we discussed. So you have to practice those graphs well. Okay, now yesterday I gave a problem for you homework. I hope all of you have done. That was easy problem. Once again I will see once. I gave x is equal to 3t cube plus 2t square plus t. Position is changing with respect to time. Here x is position, t is time. Then I think I gave at time t is equal to 2 seconds and time t is equal to 4 seconds. I told you to ask, I told you to do velocity or speed and average velocity. I think I might have given. Therefore, first we will see velocity. Velocity or speed. V is equal to dx by dt. D by dt of x they gave 3t cube plus 2t square plus t. Expand this one. So 3 dt cube by dt, just 3 constant I am writing outside. Next here 2 constant, 2 dt square by dt plus here 1 is there, dt by dt. Apply this formula. Which formula? Derivative of u power n with respect to x is equal to n into u power n minus 1 du by dx. Isn't it? Same formula. But in place of u here, t is there. In place of n here, 3 is there. Okay, here t will be same. Therefore, this 3 I am writing here. N into 3 into u. In place of u, t is there. 3 minus 1 du by dx. dt by dt. I am not writing. dt by dt will become 1 plus 2 into, I am writing this 2 here. Now this 2. In place of n here 2 is there. 2 into t power 2 minus 1. dt by dt will become 1. dt by dt again it is going to become 1. So what it is going to become? 3 into 3. 9 t square plus 2 into 2. 4 t plus 1. So this is velocity equation. They are asking velocity at time t equal to 2 seconds. So velocity at a time t is equal to, at a time t is equal to 2 seconds is equal to 9 into, in place of t how much we have to write? 2. So 9 into 2 square plus 4 into 2 plus 1. So 9 into 2 square 4, 9 fours. So 36, 4 twos, 8 plus 1. So 36 plus 8, 44 plus 1. So 45 meter per second. This is velocity at time 2 seconds. Now velocity at time 4 seconds. What you will be getting? Velocity at time t equal to 4 seconds. Now in place of t we have to substitute 4. 9 into 4 square. 9 into 4 square plus 4 into 4 plus 1. Okay. So you can solve this one. You will be getting answer in terms of meter per second. And I gave another one. What I gave? I told you to find average velocity or average speed between time t equal to 2 seconds to 4 seconds. Just I am writing formula. So V average is equal x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1. So what is x2? Position at time t2. What is x1? Position at time t1. What is the time? First time they gave 2 seconds. Now we have to find x1. x1 means at time t is equal to 2 seconds. Substitute 3 2 cube plus 2 2 square plus 2. You will get x1. Now x2 at t is equal to 4 seconds. 3 4 cube plus 3 4 square plus 4 because t is nothing but idea 4. So this minus this x2 minus x, you will get one value here. You will get one value here. Then x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1. So this is also meter per second. Okay, I think all of you understood. This is simple problem. All of you got same answer. Now we will see. Yesterday we saw some graphs. In those graphs, we took only positive slope. Some graphs they may give with negative slope. So when they give negative slope, how the graphs will be coming, we will see. Before going to that, we will see once how you practiced, how you remember this one. I will check. You can also check with you. Now this is position time graph or distance time graph. Distance time graph means what is the nature of this graph. Okay, yesterday we have drawn like this. So what is the nature of this graph? We came to know object or person is moving with uniform speed. If it is distance, with uniform speed. If it is displacement, with uniform velocity. Isn't it? So we got like this. Now what is the difference between this graph and this graph? This is starting from origin. So this is starting after some time. Means after some time person or object is moving with uniform speed if it is distance. Understood? This is from initial position only object is moving with uniform speed. So same graph they will give like this. Distance time. See here. This value will give some position. So from this position onwards object is moving with uniform speed. This will give some amount of time. So after this time object is moving with uniform speed. From origin only object is moving with uniform speed. Now how the object is moving? So with uniform speed. Now if object is moving with uniform acceleration. So what is uniform speed? It covers equal distances in equal intervals of time. Isn't it? That is uniform speed. Now what is uniform acceleration? In equal intervals of time, velocity or speed increases in equal amount. So let us assume in first second 5 meter per second velocity. In second means in next 1 second 5 meter per second. Means uniformly velocity is going to increase. Means in regular intervals of time velocity increases equally. That is nothing but object is moving with uniform acceleration. Non-uniform acceleration. What is non-uniform speed? We said object covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time. Now non-uniform acceleration means so speed or velocity increases unequally in regular intervals of time. Understood? If velocity increases regularly means same amount of speed or same amount of velocity. Velocity should be constant. That is assume in 1 second 5 meter per second. In another second also velocity increases 5 meter per second. In third second means that is in the third second also velocity increases 5 meter per second. Means in each and every second velocity how much is adding? 5 meter per second is adding. Isn't it? That is nothing but uniform acceleration. Okay. Non-uniform acceleration means in 1 second 10 meter per second velocity increases. In next second 5 meter per second. In third second 15 meter per second. Means here in 1 second so velocity increases in irregular intervals of time. So that is nothing but uniform acceleration, non-uniform acceleration. If the object is moving with uniform speed or velocity, position time graph came like this from the origin. Object is moving with uniform velocity or uniform speed. Then position time graph you got like this. Now object is moving with uniform acceleration. Then how the velocity time graph will be coming? With uniform speed or velocity means position time graph we got like this. Now uniform acceleration means velocity time graph. How we will get means like this here. Okay. So both the graphs are same, but here on y-axis distance is there. Here on y-axis velocity is there. Okay. Velocity time graph. For uniform accelerated object, you will get velocity time graph like this. This is position time or distance time graph. Sometimes they will give uniform velocity means displacement time graph. This is with positive slope. Positive slope means if you find two values here, y1, a and b, this is y1, this is x1, this is x2, this is y2. Y2 value is more, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. If you find, you will get positive slope. Same graph. So why I gave this graph, you will be understanding in next upcoming video. So this is nothing but velocity time graph for uniformly accelerated object. This is position time graph for uniform velocity. This will be having positive slope. Now, if they give graph like this is velocity time or position time also you can get. That is our wish. If you got graph like this, okay. So graph like this means after some amount of time, what is zero? What is showing exactly? Y-axis, displacement or distance. Distance is having some value at 0 seconds. Means from reference point you went somewhere. From there your distance is, let us assume x. From there you started to come to initial position. Then your distance is going to become, displacement is going to become 0. So it is taking some amount of time. Now this graph will be having negative slope. Okay, so this is having positive slope, this is having negative slope. You will be having some graphs with negative slopes also. And remaining equations, remaining graphs, I will draw after getting equations of motion. You will be already you saw in which course v is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, v square minus u square equal to 2as. By knowing the equation, we can draw the graph also. How we came to know means already came to know this equation. Y is equal to mx plus c. What is this equation? Straight line equation. By knowing the equation also, we can draw the graph. What is m here? M is nothing but slope of the given line. Yesterday we discussed so many slopes. Slope of distance time graph. What is slope of distance time graph? Speed. Slope of displacement time graph. Velocity. Slope of velocity time graph. Acceleration. Area under velocity time graph. What is area under velocity time graph? Displacement. Area under acceleration time graph. Velocity. All these we discussed. So remaining graphs I will draw by knowing the equation. But if I draw presently also you can't understand. Therefore I will draw after knowing the equations. From equation how we can draw the graph. Presently by seeing the graph, some position of the graph will be coming to know how the object is moving, whether it is at rest or uniform motion or uniform, non-uniform motion. We came to know. After knowing those equations, how the graphs will be coming also once again I will discuss. Both will are going to become same. Okay. Now we are discussing very important question for PU level 5 marks question. That is nothing but equations of motion for uniformly accelerated object. If any object is moving with uniform acceleration, so already you came to know those equations names. V is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, v square minus u square equal to 2as. Those equations we are going to derive by using graphical method. Which graphical method means velocity time graph we will use to find the or to derive those equations. For those, just you can recall. So this is velocity time. So velocity time. How the object is moving? With uniform acceleration. Now only we discussed. Whenever object is moving with uniform acceleration, what is the nature of the graph? Velocity time graph. We have drawn one line like this from this origin. isn't it? Now this object is moving with uniform acceleration, isn't it? Uniform acceleration, velocity time graph will be coming like this. Now what is its initial velocity? Here initial velocity is 0. At a time t is equal to 0, initial velocity is equal to 0. Therefore, if you derive equation by taking this graph, you won't get u-term. Why? Because you have taken according to the graph 0. Therefore, you should not take graph like this. Then how to take graph to get u? Because in those equations u is there. What is u? Initial velocity. These equations you can know. V is equal to u plus at. S is equal to ut plus half at square. V square minus u square equal to 2as. In our textbook, they will give these equations like this. V is equal to V naught plus at. X is equal to V naught t plus half at square. V square minus V naught square equal to 2ax. Here V naught means initial velocity. So why we have taken u means because since you are 8th, 9th, 10th class, you came to know these equations like this. Here what is u? Initial velocity. When object is moving, it is starting with initial velocity u. What is v? Final velocity. It is gaining some final velocity within some amount of time t. Okay, what is s? So whenever he is gaining from initial velocity to final velocity, he is going to cover some amount of displacement. The displacement is nothing but s. This displacement covered in how much time? We will get by using this equation. This is final velocity, initial velocity, displacement and acceleration. These three equations we are calling it as equations of motion in kinematics. Now these three equations we are going to derive one by one. So while deriving u we have taken, we should get this equation with u-term. But if you have taken graph like this, you won't get u-term. To get u-term, where we have to draw this line? So on x-axis or on y-axis, where we have to shift this line means on y-axis we have to shift. Why? Because this axis is representing velocity. If you have drawn this line from here, this will give time. Then again initial velocity is 0. Therefore, you should not draw here. You have to draw here. So you may get doubt why we have taken this graph like this only, sir. Why we have taken means we want here in these equations u. Therefore, we have to draw like this. Now this value is initial velocity. This value is final velocity. Initial velocity at time t is equal to 0. Final velocity within this time t. So in time t, initial velocity to final velocity it is changing. Okay. So like this we have to take graph. For this how to write the consideration. Consideration means you can write by your own. So if you know English well, you can construct the words. What we have to consider? What we consider? Let us consider an object is moving with initial velocity u. An object is moving with initial velocity u, and it is gaining final velocity v. It is gaining final velocity v in what time? In some amount of time. So an object is moving with initial velocity u and it is gaining with final velocity v in some amount of time interval t. If the object is moving with uniform acceleration a, the velocity time graph is given as shown in the diagram. How we have drawn the diagram? This is nothing but, so velocity on which axis we have taken? Y-axis. Time, which axis we have taken? X-axis. Velocity units meter per second. Time units seconds. So this arrow mark. This is nothing but graph. With the units you have to write. Okay. Now we have to draw the graph. Whenever object is moving with uniform acceleration with initial velocity u, final velocity v, how the graph will be coming means like this. Okay. So this is origin O. This one you can take A. This one you can take B. Again, you should not ask how this graph came. Already we discussed how the graphs and the nature of the graphs we discussed. Therefore, this is the graph between velocity and time for uniformly accelerated object. So define velocity time graph they may ask. What is defined definition? The graph drawn between velocity and time by taking velocity on y-axis, by taking time on x-axis. So if you have drawn one graph, that is only velocity time graph definition. Now this is the velocity time graph for uniformly accelerated object. If you find slope of this one, what you will get? Slope of velocity time graph gives acceleration. Therefore, if you find slope simply, you will be getting acceleration. That is nothing but how we will find means already in bridge course I gave the formula, slope formula y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. And I gave in first PU formula, you should not use like that. By having first PU student, we should write slope m is equal to tan theta. Tan theta is nothing but opposite side by adjacent side. Like that only you can do. By taking slope equation also we can do. That is your wish. Okay. Now from this diagram, what is this OA represents? OA represents U, isn't it? From the graph, OA is nothing but U, initial velocity. So if we have taken, rather than A, B, this is C, we can take. What is OC? OC refers, it is starting with initial velocity U and it is getting or gaining final velocity V. That is nothing but OC is equal to V. Then to reach from U to V, initial velocity, final velocity, how much time it is taking? So this point D. So this is nothing but how much time we have considered? That is nothing but T time. T time is not drinking tea. So small t time it is taking. That is nothing but OD is equal to T. So this one we consider an object starts with initial velocity U and it is gaining final velocity V in some amount of time small t. Then uniformly accelerated velocity time graph. From this graph we have written all these values. Now you have to find slope of this one. So what is the slope of this equation? So we will see. How to find slope means, let us say this point is E. Now this is E we have taken. Why we have taken means we want opposite side for this theta. Okay? So BE is the opposite side for theta. AE is the adjacent side for this theta. So we know that slope of graph m is equal to, what is the formula? Tan theta is equal to opposite side. For this theta, what is the opposite side? BE is divided by adjacent side, AE. So what is BE? What is AE? Slope of which graph this is? Slope of velocity time. Already we came to know. We have written note number 1, 2, 3. I told you, I am saying repeatedly. Slope of velocity time graph gives, what it gives? Slope of velocity time graph gives acceleration. Therefore, we got in LHS acceleration already. We will write at the end. Now what is BE? From this diagram, we want BE. So what is BE means? Here, BE is equal to CA. Can we write? BE is equal to CA. And AE is equal to OD. Can we write? Both will be same one. Already we came to know OD. What is OD? That is nothing but T. Now we should find CA. From the graph, what is CA? From graph, CA is equal to C2A is equal to C2O. CO minus AO. CO minus AO. What is CO? OC of CO is nothing but V. Minus what is AO? OA or AO is equal to U. CA is nothing but V minus U. OD is nothing but T. If you substitute, you will get. So substitute CA and OD in this equation. Call it as equation number 1. Substitute CA and OD in equation number 1. Then what you will be getting? Tan theta is equal to m is equal to v minus u by t. So LHS already I gave. Slope of velocity time graph is equal to acceleration. Therefore, a is equal to v minus u by t. Since you have to write here, what you have to write here? Slope of vt graph. Slope of vt graph is a. Simply I am writing. You have to write acceleration. Then a is equal to v minus u by t. Then at is equal to v minus u. Then v is equal to u plus a. So you got first equation. What we have taken here? Slope of this given graph. This one you can derive in second way also, that is nothing but y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So that one also you can follow. Second method. So this is 5 marks question they will do. So derive the equation v is equal to u plus at by using velocity time graph. So what is the second method means? This is also same. We know that slope of vt graph. Slope of vt graph m is equal to, what is the formula? y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So what is y2 here? What is on y-axis? That is y2. So from O to C, this is nothing but y2. So this is nothing but y1. O to C is y2. O to A is y1. This is y2, this is y1. Again, you don't need to write this. If which method you are following, depending on that you have to write. Now, what is y2? That is equal to v. What is y1? That is equal to u. So v minus u. What is x2? x2 is nothing but this one. x2 is nothing but t. What is x1? 0. Therefore, t minus 0. v minus u by t. That is equal to, what is LHS? Slope of velocity time graph. Again, this is same. Slope of velocity time graph gives acceleration. Therefore, again you will get same. Either this method you can solve, this method you can solve. So which is easy for you, that method you can solve. For all equations, same graph. But how we are taking different, how we are getting different equations, we will see. If you have taken slope, you will get first equation. Okay. Now we will see second equation. Now we got first equation of motion. What is that one? V is equal to u plus at. So now for second equation, s equal to ut plus of at square. Graph is same one. So graph is same, but what we are finding, that is different. What is there in LHS here? Displacement. Displacement we have to find. To find the displacement, yesterday I gave note 1, note 2, note 3 like that. So slope of velocity time graph gives acceleration. Area under velocity time graph gives displacement. That one only we are going to find. Again, OA is U, OC is V, OD is T. So BE, previous graph we got BE is nothing but V minus U. Okay. So again I have drawn this graph, not the previous graph. In the previous graph I have taken theta. So here theta is not there. So A, B, C, D, E are your wish. So however we have taken, process will be like this. It will be coming. If you have taken here A, here D also you can take, here C also you can take. That is entirely your wish. Now area under VT graph, velocity time graph. Area under VT graph means area of, where it is starting? O, A, B, D. So O, A, B, D. Area of O, A, B, D is going to be divided. Area of, what is this? O, A, B, D. This is nothing but rectangle. Area of O, A, B, D plus area of triangle area of triangle AEB. OAED this area plus AEB this triangle. That one we are going to calculate. Area of the triangle form length into breadth. What is the length here? OA. Breadth OD. plus area of triangle formula. What is the area of triangle formula? Of base. Base is nothing but AE. Height is nothing but BE. Okay. Now all these you came to know or not, you can see. What is OA? OA is nothing but U. What is OD? OD is nothing but T. AE. AE is also OD. AE and OD will be same. Therefore, this is also T. What is BE? So by using previous equation we got BE is nothing but B minus. What we found there? Instead of BE we found CA. Both CA and BE will be same. That is nothing but B minus U. So we will substitute one by one. That is equal to OA is equal to U. OD T plus half AE. What is AE? AE and OD both will be same. That is nothing but T. Next B. B is nothing but this side. This side already we got here. C to A. CA is nothing but B minus U. Therefore B is nothing but B minus U. So LHS. What we have to write LHS means what we are finding? Area under velocity time graph. Already we came to know area under velocity time graph gives displacement. Therefore S is equal UT plus T into V minus U. Here we have to write, since area under VT graph is equal to displacement. Therefore we wrote S here. Now in the equation we should get AT square, but here you got V minus U. Up to now you derived first equation. Therefore we have to apply here first equation. Since from equation 1 already, otherwise we can write, we know that V is equal to U plus AT, because already we derived this one. From this V minus U is equal to AT. Substitute in equation number 1. Substitute in equation 1. So then S is equal to UT plus of T into AT. And S is equal to UT plus of AT square. So this is the second equation of motion. Very, very important for final exam and here midterm exam or unit test, whenever whatever exam they are conducting, this question frequently they will ask. Derive S is equal to UT plus of AT square by using VT graph or velocity time graph. Okay, by seeing this, consideration is same. For three equations, consideration will be same. An object starts with initial velocity U, it is gaining final velocity V in some amount of time. If object is moving with uniform acceleration A, the graph drawn between velocity and time. You can draw this graph and you can find like this. Okay. We will see third equation of motion, that is nothing but V square minus U square by 2AS. Again, diagram will be same, consideration will be same. Consider an object is starting with initial velocity U, it is gaining or reaching final velocity V by taking some amount of time t, and it is moving with uniform acceleration A. Then the velocity time graph drawn is as shown in the diagram. This is common. So you can write by your own way. You don't need to write what I said like that one. So finally U, V, T and A should be coming within the matter. That may be in your own wish. Now for all, diagram will be same. If you find slope, we got first equation. If you find area, we got second equation. Again we are going to find area only. So second equation area we divided, one is rectangle, another one is triangle. Now what is the shape of this one? For this third one, we are going to take, what is the shape of this one? O, A, B, D. So what is the shape of this one means? O, A, B, D. This shape is trapezium. So what is the area of the trapezium? Let us assume this is A, this is B, this is H. So what is the area of the trapezium formula? Of height. H into A plus B. Sum of the two terms. So A plus B. This is the area of the trapezium formula. This one, if you apply, you will be getting third equation of motion. What is the area of the trapezium? So before going to write this OA. What is OA? U. OC. V. OD. That is nothing but T. Here OC is equal to BD. OC is equal to BD. That one also you can write. If you didn't write also no problem. So you can write whenever we are writing, it will become helpful. So area of the trapezium. Area of the trapezium A is equal to of, follow this formula, height into A plus. Height means here OD into A plus. A means OA, height OA plus BD or DB. So from this, what is OD? OD is equal to T of T into, what is OA? OA is nothing but U. What is BD? BD is nothing but V. BD and OC is equal to V. So LHS. In LHS, what we are finding? Area under velocity time graph. So what is area under velocity time graph gives? Area under velocity time graph gives displacement. Therefore, in place of A, area, we are writing displacement. Why we wrote here? Already we are writing this one second time. In previous problem also, in derivation also we wrote same thing. So A is equal to of T into U plus V. So what is U plus V? Here. Finally, what you should get? Equation in terms of S. So in terms of U, in terms of V. So T should not be there. See here, V square minus U square equal to 2AS. So in this V is there, U is there, A is there, S is there. What is not there? T is not there. Now we have to eliminate T. How we will eliminate T means, again we came to know first equation. So we know that V is equal to U plus AT. V minus U is equal to AT. Then T is equal to V minus U by A. Substitute T in equation number 1. What is equation number 1 means? Let us assume this is equation number 1. Substitute T in 1 means, so S is equal to of, what is T now? From the equation, T is equal to V minus U by A. And again U plus V. U plus V or V plus U. Already you came to know mathematics, A plus B into A minus B. A plus B into A minus B can be written as A square minus B square. Therefore, we can write numerator as V square minus U square by 2A. Since A square minus B square equal to A plus B into A minus B. Already that is from mathematics. Now final equation, V square minus U square equal to 2A. So this is the final equation of motion. So total you got 3 equations. What was the, this is end of this one. So you got 3 equations. First equation, V is equal to U plus AT. Second equation, S is equal to UT plus of AT square. Third equation, V square minus U square equal to 2AS. Where U is initial velocity, V is final velocity, A is acceleration. Which acceleration? Object should move with uniform acceleration. Then only these formulas will be applicable. Okay. And T is time. Now I am going to give a small work for you. That is, you can consider as homework. What you have to do means solve these 3 equations by taking U as V0. In your textbook they will give these 3 equations like this. That is also correct. V is equal to V0 plus AT. X is equal to V0 T plus of AT square. V square minus V0 square equal to 2AX. So you can derive by taking in place of U like the same graph, same like that. But in place of U, you should take V0. In place of S, you should take X. So these 3 equations we are calling it as equations of motion. In addition to this, another equation will be there. That is called 4th equation of motion. So that derivation they won't ask for you, but we will derive a normal way, not by using graph. Generally we can derive by using graph also we can derive, but here that derivation is not there. So out of these three, they will ask 5 marks question. Sometimes this one they will give for 3 marks question. V is equal to V naught plus AT. So at that time you can take the graph. If you find slope, you will get first equation. If you find area by dividing rectangle and triangle, you will get second equation. So by taking area of trapezium, you will be getting third equation. Okay. So now those three derivations over. I told you one equation, fourth equation is there. Further derivation is not required. So but whenever we are solving problems, that equation also will be very helpful for competitive problems, not for PU. So I am giving for you equations of kinematics. That one only equations of motion we will say. So what is here kinematics? Which motion will be coming under kinematics? This definition will be there. What is kinematics means? The study of motion of the objects without going into the cause of it. If an object is dropped from certain height. So if an object is dropped from certain height, how it will be going? It is going towards ground. That is nothing but towards the surface. Isn't it? If this is the object. If you drop like this, it is going downwards. Isn't it? So why it is going downwards? We don't want why it is going downwards. That is nothing but we are not going into the cause. If you moved an object, let us assume table or chair, you moved one object from here to there. There you applied some amount of force. We are going into the cause. That will be coming under dynamics. So both will be same one. So study of motion of the objects without going into the cause. Why it is going? We don't want that cause. So that motion will be coming under kinematics. If you are going into the cause, that motion will be coming under dynamics. This is the definition of kinematics. The study of motion of the objects without going into the cause. Okay. Example, freely falling body. An object is dropped from certain height. Like that, vertically projected body. If you have thrown an object upwards, that is nothing but also will be coming under kinematics. That one also we don't want why it is going upwards and we are not going into the cause. Okay. So these equations of motion. Again, these three only will be coming. So V is equal to U plus AT. S is equal to UT plus of AT square. Third one, V square minus U square equal to 2AS. I told you fourth equation. What is the fourth equation means? Distance traveled in nth second. Nth second means last second. I will say what is the last second. Sn is equal to U plus A into n minus 1 by 2. Otherwise, U plus A into 2n minus 1 by 2. Both will be same one. So this is called distance traveled in nth second. Nth second means last second. So let us assume an object is going like this. So in 1 second, in 2 seconds, in 3, 4, 5. So it is covering some amount of distance in 4 seconds. It is covering some amount of distance in 5 seconds. Now what is the distance covered in last second? Last second is nothing but S5 minus S4. This is the distance covered in last second. This last second, how we will find it? Means distance covered in between 4th and 5th second. In between 4th and 5th second, how much distance it is going to cover means you can use this formula. Okay, derivation is not required for you. If you want to do means S5, S4, that will become big derivation. Not required. Directly you can remember the formula. Distance traveled in n second. If you want means we will deriving whenever we started competitive. So we will start there. Now how these equations of kinematics, these equations of motion are going to be changed according to given object. How the object is moving. An object is dropped from some height. An object is thrown with some initial velocity upwards. If you drop an object downwards, obviously it is going downwards. How these equations of motion are going to be changed? That one we are going to discuss. Okay. So now we are going to see first one. In case of freely falling body. Freely falling body means no one I have shown. If you drop any object, that object we are calling it as freely falling body. An object which is dropped from certain height is nothing but freely falling body. If you have dropped one object from certain height, how it will be going means downwards. What is the height we have dropped? From what height we have dropped means h. What is its initial velocity here? Initial velocity we didn't throw like this. We have dropped like this. Therefore, initial velocity is going to become 0. How it is coming? Downwards it is coming. So, downwards it is coming. How much distance it is covering means height. So, S is nothing but h. What is the initial velocity? 0. It will take some amount of time, that is nothing but t. Time is nothing but t. Now, what is its acceleration? So, with what acceleration it is going means already you came to know this one. Acceleration due to gravity. What is acceleration due to gravity? You will write g. So, what is the small g value? 9.8 meter per second square or almost 10 meter per second square. So, acceleration due to gravity. Define acceleration due to gravity. In the name only it is there. Acceleration produced due to gravitational force or gravitational pull of the earth. Why this object is coming downwards means this earth is pulling the object with some acceleration. What is acceleration? Increase in velocity, isn't it? So whenever object is coming downwards, here it will be having some velocity. Initially 0. Increasing velocity means within particular interval of time. Increasing velocity within particular interval of time is called acceleration. But this acceleration who is producing means earth is producing. Gravitational force is producing. Therefore, in the name only it is there. Acceleration. This acceleration is coming. Change in velocity with respect to time. Change in velocity with respect to time or change in velocity in particular interval of time. Acceleration. Why it is coming? Due to gravity. Gravity means here gravitational pull applied by the earth. So therefore the name came for this one. That is equal to g. So you came to know already this one. Whenever the object is moving downwards, velocity increases. Therefore we will write plus g. If you have thrown this object upwards, velocity is decreasing. Velocity is decreasing means already we discussed in previous classes. So velocity is decreasing means we will say retardation or deceleration. Therefore we will take at the time minus g. Already you came to know this about plus g minus g in your ninth class. So acceleration due to gravity a is equal to g is equal to 9.8. This is constant. So object is moving with uniform acceleration. Okay, gravitational force will produce uniform acceleration of the object. So a is equal to g. Then how these equations are going to be changed? First equation, v is equal to u plus a. So this implies v is equal to 0 plus gt. So v is equal to gt. What is v here? Final velocity when it touches the ground. So after t time, what is its velocity they may ask? After t time, v is equal to gt. So after 2 seconds, what is its velocity? 9.8 into 2. After 1 second, 9.8 into 1. If you know time, you can find final velocity after some amount of time. Next, what is the second equation? S is equal to ut plus of at square. What is S? How much height it is traveling? That is the distance. That is nothing but h. H is equal to what is initial velocity? 0 plus of gt square. H is equal to of gt square. So how much time it takes to reach the ground? At that time you can use this formula. H is equal to of gt square. Next, third equation. V square minus u square equal to 2as. V square minus 0 square equal to 2gh. Because s is h, u is 0. Then v square equal to 2gh. V is equal to root 2gh. By using this, v is directly proportional to root h. By using this, h is directly proportional to t square. Because g and 2 constant. Here 2g constant. Here, how we will write this one? V is directly proportional to t. So all these equations will be helpful for competitive. These equations they will ask for 3 marks question. So write the equations of motion in case of freely falling body they will ask. So these 3 original equations. What is the fourth one now? Fourth one, distance traveled in nth second. What is that one means? So nth second is equal to u is 0. G into n minus 1 by 2. That is nothing but g into 2n minus 1 by 2. So distance traveled in n seconds. These are the equations of motion in case of freely falling water. Okay. Now we will see equations of motion in case of vertically projected body. We define freely falling body. What is freely falling body? Any object which is dropped at some height or certain height is called freely falling body. Now what is vertically projected body? Any object which is thrown vertically upwards with some initial velocity is called vertically projected body. Any object which is thrown upwards with some initial velocity u, that is called vertically projected body. For this one, what is the final velocity? What is the height it is traveling? So we will change this equation. In this will go upwards till its final velocity is going to become 0. If you have thrown an object here, it will go up. Again, after reaching some height, again it is coming downwards. From where it will come downwards means where its final velocity is going to become 0. From there it is going to come downwards. But we don't want here where final velocity is going to become 0. We are finding somewhere it is having, so it is going like this. Whenever it is going like this, here velocity is there. Here final velocity is going to be 0. But here some amount of velocity will be there. Here, what is its velocity? After some time, what is its velocity? After what time its final velocity is going to become 0? That will come in different way. Okay? After some amount of time, its final velocity, we are giving formula. That is first one. V is equal to u plus at. What is u here? Initial velocity. What is a here? It is going upwards. Therefore, a will become minus g. Velocity is going to decrease. Okay. Next, time t. V is equal to u minus gt. Second one. So, at this point, it is reaching some amount of height h. Therefore, second equation, s is equal to ut plus of at square. H is equal to ut minus of gt square. This h is height travel in some time t. Third one. So v square minus u square equal to 2as. What we have to change? V square minus u square equal to 2 minus gh. So v square equal to u square minus 2gh. Fourth one. Distance traveled in a second. So u minus g into n minus 1 rate. Isn't it? Just in place of a, we will write minus g. So this is at this point. But if they ask at final velocity 0, that is nothing but how much height is, where final velocity is going to become 0 means after reaching its maximum height. At maximum height, final velocity will be 0. Very, very important point. You should remember this one. If you project any object vertically upwards, where its final velocity will become 0 means after reaching its maximum height. What is the maximum height? We can find by using these formulas. So if v is equal to 0, v is equal to 0 means final velocity is 0. Then what is the distance it is traveling? It is traveling maximum height. So we can find the maximum height. By using which equation we will find, we will see now. Now how much time it is taking to reach maximum height? If v is equal to 0, it is reaching maximum height. So time is nothing but we will write time of ascent. Time of ascent means the time taken by the object to reach the maximum height. The time taken by the object to reach the maximum height. Okay. These two we can find. So if we substitute in first equation, v is equal to u plus at. So these equations I am deriving where final velocity is going to become 0. Where final velocity is going to become 0 means time t is equal to time of ascent ta. How much height it is reaching means maximum height. Final velocity is 0. That is nothing but u plus u a value minus g ta. So vertically projected body always a is minus g. T why I wrote ta? Because it is reaching maximum height. Then if you send u is equal to g ta, ta is equal to u by g. So what is this ta? Time of ascent. How much time it will take to reach the maximum height? How they will ask problem means an object is thrown vertically upwards with 10 meter per second velocity. Then how much time it will take to reach the maximum height? Then u by g, 10 by g. G value 10 if you took means 10 by 10, that will become 1 second. This is time of s. What is the maximum height? What is the maximum height means you can use third formula. Then you will be getting maximum height. What is the equation means? V square minus u square equal to 2as. Final velocity 0 minus u square. 2 minus g s value h max. Then minus u square equal to minus 2g h max. Then h maximum is equal to u square by 2g. This is nothing but maximum height equation. I am saying once again, after reaching maximum height, it is different. When it is reaching maximum height means after becoming final velocity is 0. So these three equations, it is not going to be final point. It is somewhere in between initial and final. At that time, these equations will be coming like this. 99% they will ask in case of freely falling body. So here, what is the time of ascent, maximum height, time of descent, total time they will ask. Those we will see in our next class. Okay.